Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
Either your child lives or they die, but there's a middle ground that's worse than both of those that nobody talks about, and that's they're alive, but their brain function is gone. They're infants.
A mom's cry for help is far from over. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. In May, we told you about 4 young adults who were arrested for selling heroin and fentanyl.
In an exclusive one-on-one interview, Valley News Team's Christine Stanwood talks with the mother of one of those arrested who is closely connected to the opioid epidemic.
It's funny, though, because I can talk to people around here, and they're dealing with it.
Jamie Harris is a nurse who's treated many struggling addicts.
It was my job. I'm a nurse, and I was taking care of these patients, and then turn around and I was torn 2 different ways.
It was a comment posted by Jamie that caught Valley News Live's attention.
I remember starting out with, "I am Christian's mom." That was the most difficult sentence.
Harris explained that one of the 4 boys arrested for dealing heroin and fentanyl was her son.
And I'm looking at their pictures, and I'm like, my God, they're babies. They're just babies.
What was it like to see that photo of your son, the mugshot?
That made me sick to my stomach.
However, it wasn't Christian Harris's first run-in with the law.
I answered the phone, and he said, "Mom, I got arrested, and I'm scared." And my first thought was, because I didn't know anything at this time, I thought, now you're scared? How many calls have I had from you from the jail, and never once have I heard you say you're scared? It's about time.
Christian Harris's addiction started when he was 15. He overdosed on alcohol and was placed in a nearly 20-hour induced coma, unexpected to survive.
Him being 16, he had overdosed 3 more times. At school was 2 times. First time they called me and said, "We just sent your son to the ER, unresponsive."
Christian was put on probation, but Jamie says that wasn't enough.
I wanted him to have to take urine tests every month. You know, I wanted him to have to do some kind of therapy.
So she put Christian in a local treatment center, but she says their policies were skewed.
I said, "Well, what are the guidelines for him to get admitted?" And she said, "Well, if he was intoxicated right now, under the influence of alcohol. So if I got him drunk and brought him in there, they would take him. But as far as an addiction, asking to get help, they weren't doing it."
After kicking him out of her home, Christian later returned. Jamie found him near death, sleeping in a cabinet.
He was nothing but bones. I mean, I swear he weighed no more than 60, 70 pounds.
Jamie feels as though the system has failed her and Christian and could have prevented his run-ins with the law.
Can we not have a policy to have a long-term treatment? And if we don't have a treatment center where the government or state feels it's long enough for them, then make one. If you feel that they need a 5-year sentence, then have a 5-year rehab facility. If these kids make it through a 20-year sentence, they won't come out right.
In Fargo, Christine Stanwood, Valley News Live.
The 20 years that Jamie Harris references involves an upcoming sentencing for her son on federal drug charges.
Christian Harris will be in court in early August. He could get up to 20 years in prison and a $1 million fine.
Switching gears now, pretty decent out there today for those of you with outdoor plans for this evening. Let's head over to Justin now to find out if there's any trouble brewing in the weather. Justin?
And thank you, Mike and Andrea, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, very nice day out there today. Plenty of sunshine, just a few passing clouds, and it was not as warm as it could be this time of year. Temperature near 80 is near normal for where we should be at this time of year. 75 Jamestown, Devils Lake, 77 Bemidji, and out toward Aberdeen. A temperature of 79 degrees with winds out there, mainly mainly light and variable. They're gonna flip around to more of a southerly direction as we go through the next several hours. And nothing out there on the radar, hardly any clouds, and that is going to be the story as we go through the evening hours. It's going to stay mild into the 70s still by 9 p.m. and then we fall through the 60s by later than that. We're watching a severe storm risk as we go through Friday night into early Saturday morning, and that is our next chance of some severe weather. We also have another chance on Saturday, and then after that it looks pretty nice. I'll have the details coming up in full weather later in the newscast.
All right, we'll look forward to that. Thanks, Justin.
Yep.
The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension today is calling a case out of Bemidji, Minnesota, a kidnapping and apparent homicide. This man, 32-year-old Jacob William Kinn, has been arrested in connection with the kidnapping of a 5-year-old Bemidji girl. Investigators are still piecing together information, but here's what they do know. There was a house fire on Wednesday. Investigators found one body in the charred remains of the home. That's when a massive search was launched for 5-year-old Brittany Blaser. The burned house was the last place she was known to be. Kinn was brought in for questioning, and his answers led Minnesota BCA agents to an area near Big Fork, Minnesota.
They discovered fresh tire tracks. They followed the tire tracks through a wooded area where they located a pop-up camper. Inside, they found Brittany. She has been taken to a medical facility for examination and treatment.
Investigators tell Valley News Live more information will be released about Kinn's connection to the house fire and apparent homicide as the investigation continues.
A West Fargo family is back together tonight as all 3 children who were missing yesterday have been found safe. 15-year-old Preston Spangler was one of 3 brothers who police searched for. Authorities confirmed that Preston was found in Fargo today and was taken to a medical facility to be evaluated. His 2 younger brothers, 8-year-old Jacob and 12-year-old Roman Spangler, were found safe last night.
Today marks the 1-year anniversary since 2 Moorhead basketball players lost their lives in a crash just south of Fergus Falls. Zach and Connor Kowalvog died when their pickup rolled. They were known as students, athletes, and brothers who touched the lives of many on and off the court. Their family still has few answers about that fatal day, but refused to give up. Back in March, authorities said they were continuing to get tips on the fatal crash and that the investigation is still very active. They're still searching for a semi that was believed to be involved.
In 4 days, Grand Forks police have responded to 3 drug overdoses, and those are just the ones that are being reported. So far this year, police say that they have responded to 13 overdoses, most of them suspected to be heroin related. 2 were deadly. Now, authorities are reminding you to look for signs of possible drug activity and symptoms of overdose, and if you see anything, call them right away.
The House has passed the long-awaited Zika funding bill, but the White House and Democrats say it includes unreasonable spending cuts and policy changes relating to women's health. Amid a Democratic sit-in to demand votes on gun control, the House adjourned after a 239 to 171 vote to approve a $1.1 billion Zika funding bill. But the White House and congressional Democrats are criticizing that bill, saying it includes a section that would restrict who could provide birth control services to women. Zika is mostly spread through mosquito bites and can cause severe birth defects in fetuses, such as abnormal brain development and vision problems.
Also from Washington, the U.S. Air Force has included the Grand Forks Air Force Base on its short list for basing the new KC-46 tanker. North Dakota U.S. Senator John Hoeven says that adding a tanker base to the north central part of the country creates more options for the Air Force without the loss of refueling capacity in other parts of the country. Senator Hoeven also says the base's location means tankers would be a prime location to support northern deployment routes to various overseas operations. The Air Force will announce its preferred base this winter.
If you're planning on going to Hornbachers today in Fargo, Moorhead, or Grand Forks, expect long lines. Lots of people are lining up for one of those famous summertime turkey sandwiches because today is the annual Gobble It Up for the United Way, and it's $5. Thanksgiving is a long way off, but the turkey-based meal most definitely is a very hot commodity today and has been for a long time, 9 years. Jenny O and Hornbachers teamed up on the sandwiches. Frito-Lay handled the chips, Pepsi, the pop and water, and Kemp's the dessert. And to kick off this big sun-baked fundraiser picnic, Hornbachers kicked in a check for $10,000. This partnership and event has raised nearly $140,000 since it began. The money goes to help fund the school supply drive, the Imagination Library book program, and the summertime school lunch program.
Everybody wins with this.
Exactly.
All right. Plenty of headaches being caused by construction, road construction in Moorhead. Later on Valley News Live at 6. Some directions that could make your next trip easier.
And temperatures into the mid-50s to start and close to 80 by later on in the afternoon. Pretty close to normal for this time of year, but we're going to warm it up nicely tomorrow. And then some storms ahead. I'll tell you all about that coming up.